It's like that spring commercial. Can you hear me now?
Where is it?
Do we have audio? Nope.
Select a speaker. How's that?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Bam. There we go. Perfect. Gotcha.
Gotta love time zones and technology.
Time zones and technology, yes. Brad, who works for us, he's like, well, how come every single time we got to do a day full of interviews, these things get messed up every single time? So we apologize.
It's okay.
We blame the label. We blame the
well,
label.
yes, because I had Lee and he had said 3:30, and then I said 3:30. And he goes, no, 3:50. I'm like, I'll do whatever you want to do. So,
well, thank you for being very flexible.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for doing these. These are always so much fun. At least they are for me, because I'm not doing them all day long like you are.
Right.
You know? So I'm Erika Jay. It's Q92.9 in Pittsburgh. And we should get this out of the way because I only learned by watching some other videos that everybody says your name wrong. So it's not Chad Kroeger.
It's Kroeger.
Chad Kroeger.
It is actually Kroeger, yeah.
I would bet that 99% of the people watching this say it wrong. So now we know.
There is a large grocery chain in America.
Yeah.
Pronounced Kroeger. And since there's an O in it. But okay, that doesn't explain Brett Favre.
Yeah.
That's Favre.
Favre.
Like the R and the V are on the opposite side. It still says Brett Favre. You know, because if you say it in French, it's Favre. So that one just doesn't make sense. But
in Pittsburghers, we just say all kinds of weird things anyways. Like we're Yinzers, so, and Canadians say the weird stuff too. So this will be fun.
Oh, Canadian, we're the worst at taking. Well, no, I gotta take the Aussies. They augment more just everyday isms and just make it their own, like just on the regular. They're just grabbing everything. Like, why can't, bubble gum, like gum can't be gum. It's got to be chewy.
Oh yeah.
And your sunglasses have to be your sunnies. Like everything.
And I usually just go with it. Like I'll have no idea what somebody's talking about. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is cool. I'm actually really excited to talk to you because this is like full circle for me, because when I started in radio, I was playing Nickelback songs brand new on college radio. And so, yeah, and here I am now still playing Nickelback songs. They're just our Q throwbacks now.
You just dated yourself.
I know. And I do that often, but I love playing the throwbacks, because it just takes you back to those times. And I think things were better then.
There were better times. There were definitely better times. You gotta look a little harder for the good times now.
Yeah.
But they're there. You just gotta, you ever notice when you're sitting around with some friends and you just cracked a bottle of wine or something like that, and you start to recognize you're having one of those, it's like, oh, wait, this is the makings. This is the makings of a really good night. We really have to enjoy this.
That's so true. Yeah. How about how does it feel seeing like this new generation that are finding you now on TikTok, like thinking that these songs are new songs and then they're covering them? Like, what's that like?
That's probably the same thing, when I heard Zeppelin for the first time, or when I heard, I can't even say, the Beatles for the first time, because that was just sort of like, that was just ingrained in the planet. You just, anytime a Beatles song comes on, you're just like, why do I know all the words to this?
Right.
And it's the same thing with anything. Like when you're discovering it for the very first time, it's like, this is brand new. My niece, this was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. She's like, oh my God, have you heard of this band called Soundgarden? And she was 19 at the time, or maybe 18 at the time. And I'm like, yes. Yep. From Seattle. Yep. Yeah. Made some really great records, had a, great band. She's like, yeah, but have you heard Super Unknown?
Oh my God.
Couple times.
It seems like the teenagers are doing that a lot, even like Weezer and Nirvana and stuff. My daughter just did that with Luke Combs, that's covering Fast Car now. She had no idea that was a Tracy Chapman song. So I'm trying to explain Tracy Chapman, 1988. She's like, who's he? I'm like, oh. Right? Yeah. So you gotta love TikTok. And I mean, it is fun to watch, and especially seeing things like that. It's just pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, that, well, have you seen the one where they hand these teenagers like a rotary phone?
Yeah.
And the dad says, I don't know what he says, like he'll give them something. He'll give them each $100 or so. I can't remember what it was, something like that. And he says, okay. And he lifts the box off and he says, okay, if you can make one phone call on this, you get whatever, right? And you've got 60 seconds to do it. And they cannot figure out for the life of them.
Yeah.
And they kind of like keep picking up the receiver and putting it down. And they're kind of like, they have no idea that you just,
Right.
you know, just back in the old day, you just spin that thing.
Yeah, and if you wanted to call someone real fast and they had a zero, you're like trying to rip it back real quick.
Oh,
So,
the quick zero.
yeah.
You ever have one so slow that you try to go zoom and then try to push it back?
Yes. And then like the clear thing pops off. I used to always break my grandma's phone trying to do that.
Yep. I grew up in such a small town that you only had to dial the last 4 numbers of anyone's phone. Like that's how small this was back in the day, like 4 numbers. And you're, you know, it's like you didn't have to do the area code or the first, you know, the prefix, nothing, just 4 numbers straight to the house.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Those were the days, which leads me right into.
Oh, sweet segue. Sweet.
I didn't even do that on purpose. But I mentioned, you know, obviously, yeah, I mentioned that we're playing, we call them Q throwbacks. So those are our songs from 80s, 90s, early 2000s, but we are playing those days. So we are playing the new Nickelback too. And I have to tell you that song, just like everybody else, it just had me from the first line because I was one of the kids who I had to be home when the streetlights came on.
That's funny. That's, I mean, that's how it was written. Because
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I'm doing this thing and I've got my guitar and we kind of knew the melody was going to do this thing. It was going to like, so we got to start plugging things in there, right? So we really enjoyed the melody. And then I think I said, I went, remember when the streetlights came on and we had to be home?
Yeah.
And everyone just went, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I think that should be the first line of the song. And then we just start going, remember. And everyone went, ah. And then we had a direction. And as usual, you know, if I was to write a song professionally, you would always have the chorus written first. But for some reason, when we write Nickelback songs, we just start at the beginning. We have no idea where we're going. We just kind of get there. So then we wound up with, remember when the streetlights came on and we had to be on. Remember when Elm Street came on, good orchard alone. You know, and then you're just off to the races.
I didn't know I was getting a personal concert, but that's pretty cool.
So that's, you know, and then it's just like, then it's just a list. Then it's like, okay, let's talk about all, you know, because some stuff that would get brought up in the songwriting session or any songwriting session we do can be a little bit too narrow and it might be a little bit too specific to one person. And you want it to be very broad and very general. So everybody gets on board. You know, everyone's like, ah, yes, I remember all those things. Yeah. And then we went right to the video. Like we've got to have like Atari and we've got to have like all those old posters that were on our wall at the, you know, it just takes you right back there.
Except that my poster was 98 degrees. I'm sorry.
98 degrees?
Nickelback Jay.
Yeah.
You know, and Britney Spears. I had her.
Britney. Yeah. There you go. Mine was more, I had more of the rock stuff. I definitely, you know, I had my Metallica posters and I had my, like Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, all the metal stuff from back in the 80s. And, you know, and then you'd walk past, like when a girl opened her locker, it was insight. You know, you get to see like, you know, you're just kind of walking down the hall. You just sort of like slow down a little bit. Like, what do you got in there? Why does it smell good in your locker?
That's hilarious.
It's, you know, it was like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. You know, it would be like, or John Bon Jovi, or who else would it be back in the day? Or maybe like Bret Michaels. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. I love that. But you know, with the whole album, the new Get Rollin album that you guys have out, like the songs are, in my opinion, like very different. But you said, you know, with the songwriting, people can still relate. Vegas bombs. I had some not so great nights after some Vegas bombs, but I do love that song because again, it just takes me back to a place.
Right. So I was gonna do Jaeger bombs originally,
Mm.
but then my buddy who's a bartender's like, dude, Vegas bombs. That's where it's at. I was like, really? It's like, yeah, Vegas bomb. It's like that's what everybody in the industry drinks. They all drink Vegas.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, okay. So that's cool and hip. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'll go with Vegas bombs. And they are delicious. They're all delicious. I mean, anything that's a bomb, if you can drop something into another glass and, try and take your front teeth out while you're drinking it at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's a winner for me.
did you ever have a LeBron bomb?
A LeBron bomb? No.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a larger glass.
It's like the same thing. The only difference is, how when he comes out on the court, he's got the powder in his hand and he throws it up. And so you get sugar or salt or
This
whatever.
feels very Vegas as well.
Throw it in the air and then slam your shot. LeBron bomb.
LeBron bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I know we'll be running short on time already, but I want to talk about the tour, which you guys are just weeks away. So we are doing something fun, which I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, just our giveaway yet, but we're going to be sending some of our listeners to see you in Hershey. We call them one tank trips because that's like 3 hours here from Pittsburgh. So take a tank.
One tank trip.
Yeah.
One tank trip.
Yeah. So we are sending somebody out there, getting the whole VIP experience. So we're very excited for that, but also excited because now everyone can go to your show because you've added and Pittsburgh made the cut. Pittsburgh made the list for September.
It absolutely did.
Yay.
Yeah. Friday, September 29th.
I love that.
You could buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Friday. Nickelback. Yes.
Do you actually do some of those commercials?
No, but I started doing voiceover work for cartoons.
Oh.
Yeah, which is fun because I love coming up with, because I'm doing it anyway, in between vocal takes while you're singing in the booth. So and you just wind up doing some silly voice. And one of the managers was like, do you want to try this? Because we can just get you like an agent and we'll see what happens and you can start trying. And so they send me this stuff all the time. And I'm coming up with these voices for you name it, just the most silly, ridiculous things that you could possibly imagine. And so I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this. Am I allowed to talk about my?
There's a lot of powerful corporations own those companies.
There's a lot of powerful corporations that own those companies. Maybe I should maybe I should not.
You won't tell anyone about our giveaway. I won't tell anyone about your giveaway.
Sounds good. I'm a new I'm a villain in a very, very large a very well-known comic book hero person animation movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a rat with wings.
Okay. Well, we'll stay tuned for that. That's fun.
So I mean that is so much fun. I love doing that stuff. I watch, I've seen so many people doing it online, like you get the behind the scenes sort of thing, and you watch Bradley Cooper do Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And he just gets into the character, and it's I just find that so inspiring.
That is
so
cool.
Now, and his arms are flailing around. He's doing all this, he's he might as well be the character. And so you really wind up doing that while you're in front of the microphone trying to, sort of encapsulate what you think this character is going to be.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I love that. So then September 29th, you're here, Pittsburgh. Back to that. Do you have any great Pittsburgh memories from any?
All of them.
Yeah, it's a great city.
Every single one that I've ever had in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've played Pittsburgh a ton. That town's always been good to us. Really good. It's a tough town. It's a tough town. You gotta win them, and you gotta get them early, and you gotta keep them, because you don't want to have them halfway and then have the crowd sort of turn into like that's a crowd you really gotta. It's not a Vegas crowd where everyone's just juiced right off the bat, and they don't care what goes on because they've got the rest of the night to just enjoy Vegas. You really gotta work in that town.
Well, yeah, and that's a late show. That might be the last one. That's a Star Lake show too. So we're going to be outside September 29th. It could be snowing here in Pittsburgh. You just
no, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful evening. It's going to be a late summer. It's still going to be warm. Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
It'll be great. We're manifesting. It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, before I let you fly, can we do a quick little would you rather Pittsburgh version? I'll help you if you don't know what some of these things are. Would you
Absolutely.
rather Pittsburgh? Okay. Would you rather ride the incline or the Gateway Clipper? Do you know what those are?
I'm just gonna go with the Gateway Clipper.
Yeah, like a riverboat cruising
Yep.
along the three rivers here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
The
taking
incline you'd have to
like
like right.
floating anywhere is fun.
Agreed, agreed. Okay, would you rather eat fries on your salad or fries on your sandwich?
Fries on my sandwich.
Okay, so we do that a lot here. Would you rather go to Kennywood or Sandcastle? Roller coasters or water slides?
I'm going roller coaster, I think, on this one.
Okay, I like that. And then
Yeah,
would
so
you
that's
rather
got to be Sandcastle.
Sandcastle's a water park.
It's weird that it's a water park's called Sandcastle.
Got a
I guess
wave
not. Maybe
pool,
beach. Yeah, that's the beach vibe. I guess maybe.
And then the last one, would you rather go to a Steeler game or a Pirates game?
Oh, I just missed a Pirates game. Pirates just kicked the hell out of the Mariners, and we had tickets to go. And honest to God, I was just too hungover. So I bought like this. I bought a bunch of tickets for the friends, and we were all going down. I'm like, just go without me. Go without me. And I think it was 11-6, and the Pirates absolutely destroyed the Mariners.
Yeah, they've been doing great this season.
But the right answer is the Penguins.
So great. Yeah.
The right answer is the Penguins.
Well, that was my lead. And so you picked the Pirates. So then would it be Pirates or Penguins? And there we go.
I'm going Penguins. You guys do have Sidney Crosby. I mean, come on. That's awesome.
Yeah, they missed out this year on the playoffs, but whatever.
True.
So
That's true.
well, thank you. That was fun.
Thank you. That was very fun. Thank you for being very flexible again, and thanks for navigating through this like a professional.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I appreciate your time, and I'm very excited about September 29th. So I hope we get to hang out and have some Vegas bombs.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm on to Houston.
All right. Adios, Houston, then.
Yeah.
See you, Chad. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.